Rug.
Hey man, can you hear me?
Yeah, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, brother. What's
Good.
up?
How are you, bro?
Good, man. How are you?
Very, very well. You're the man of the hour, my man. How do you feel, bro, after going through the process? I know you've been doing it for a long time, man. The FTMO challenges and stuff. So,
You know,
how does it feel?
honestly, like it doesn't feel that different to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I feel like it's just more so the mindset, eh? Like once I got that mindset, the result was just gonna come. So it's not like I don't feel euphoric or anything,
That's the
but I
best.
do feel good though. Like not gonna lie, it feels good.
But
Still find it
you're remaining at that middle ground.
absolutely, absolutely, yeah,
Awesome, man. Well, look, this is going to go on my YouTube. So, guys, this is Rugved. Now, bro, I was actually just looking up um, when you joined Onyx, dude. So you joined.
yeah.
I was just having a laugh, man. So you actually joined Onyx on the 21st of February 2021. Do you remember that day?
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember that. I remember the day I joined, but yeah. I don't remember the exact date, but yeah.
No, 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 of course. But man, it's just crazy to see how far you've come. It's been about 2 years now. Um,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
literally, you're nearly just at that 2 year, a little bit of a 2 year experience mark.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
Tell everyone, I guess, the experience that you started with, and I guess the journey, right? Just the journey up to this point, right? I want a little
Yeah,
bit of a backstory, just so people know that
yeah,
it's not an overnight thing, right?
yeah. I mean, well, here's the crazy thing, right? I was talking to my auntie who lives in Pune in India.
Yeah,
I was talking to her just a couple of days ago, and this was straight after I passed my FTMO challenge.
yeah.
And I told her, ever since I was a kid, I don't know if I ever told you, but ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to work 2, 3 hours a day and then make a lot of money and then come back home. And then, the surprising thing, my auntie told me, I already know that. When you were 6 years old, you used to tell us, oh, I'm not going to work 8 hours a day. I'm going to work 2 hours a day, and then I'm going to come back home and spend time with you guys.
That's sick.
So I used to say that back when I was six, when I was 7 years old. And then
It's
I guess like I
manifested.
kind of
It's
forgot about it.
subconsciously
Yeah,
manifested, man.
exactly.
Dude,
It's
that's
just funny, bro. And then, like, in 2021, in January or something, I was just scrolling through YouTube. I clicked on a video, and then your advertisement came up.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. So I was the first proper education you've had in trading, right? Um,
yes,
and since then
yes,
you've done ZM Capital stuff as well. Shout out to those
yeah,
guys.
yeah, definitely,
So
bro,
you've done
definitely,
you've
yeah.
done Onyx Forex, OnyxCrypto, ZM Capital. Anyone else you want to shout out that's been sort of pinnacle along the journey?
Ooh, I'm not really, to be honest. It's just those three, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
there's when I go on Instagram, there's other people that are posting things, and you see them, and then it helps you sometimes. So there's a bunch of those guys, but in terms of like proper mentorship, it's got to be Onyx Forex, Onyx
yeah.
Crypto, and ZM Capitals.
ZM
Yeah,
Capitals. Yeah, shout out to those guys. So you saw the ad on YouTube and you sort of just because you didn't know anything about trading, dude. I remember you
no,
came to Sydney to the office with Reese and I.
yeah.
You were telling me this story, so go on with it.
All right, so I saw your ad, and then once I heard you talk, I was like, this guy's a scammer, bro. This
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no way you can
yeah,
make it.
yeah.
No way you can make $1,000 a day or whatever. That's just bullshit, bro. So
Especially when you're only a young guy. I think hearing like 500,000, $600 a day, you're like, there's no way. You're like, that's what people
yeah,
made a week. Yeah, yeah,
exactly. That's exactly what was going through my mind. So I'm like, this guy's a scammer, but I don't know why. I clicked on the link anyways, and then I signed up for the email thing.
yeah.
And then after that, I looked at I looked at the course and I was like, bro, I can't afford this. I'm broke. I'm straight up broke, so I can't afford this. So I just let it go on the side. And then I started getting emails from you.
Yeah,
I started getting like free videos and like, oh, you should sign up,
yeah,
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 you're missing out and all those sorts of things. And I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing with my life anyways. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to do uni. At that time, I was doing exercise and sports science,
Mhm.
and I hated it, bro. It was
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
boring. I
Yeah.
never wanted to be in the medicine field. But it's just one of those things. I'm Indian, bro, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
engineers,
parents.
lawyers.
I was actually
Yeah,
chatting to your father yesterday on Facebook, man. Just through the comments. He's a nice guy. He's
yeah, yeah,
he's very proud of you.
yeah. Nah, he's a G. He's a G.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I never wanted to go down that like 9 to 5 route anyways. ways. And when you said that, you can work a couple of hours a day and make a sizable income, make an income that you can actually live off of, that sounded really good to me. So at the end, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. And then I pressed that button and I bought the course. And as soon as I bought the course, panic started to set in. I was like, oh my God, did I just give my money away to a scammer, right?
Yeah.
This was like 10:30 or 11 or something at night. And I was like,
and you're just waiting. You're just waiting for the email. You're like, please send me the course. Like,
exactly. And then I saw a link and I was like, all right, cool. Maybe this guy is not a scammer. So I clicked on the link and then the whole course was there. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So I haven't just wasted my money. And little did I know, it was the best decision of my life, bro, hands down. It's not just because we're doing an interview. It's not just because you're there, but anyone, I would say that buying that course or even just clicking on the link, that was just the best decision of my life. Because
I appreciate it, bro.
That's who I am. I'm a trader now.
That it's changed your entire life, that click, man. Honestly, because like, dude, like most people that when we released those beginner programs that you bought, they were very beginner trading stuff, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the people that bought didn't really have the mindset that you had, right? You actually kept going through the ups and downs, the journey of a trader, right? Demo accounts for long periods of time, back testing, going through winning streaks, and then you're messaging me on those losing streak times saying, Nick, it's like, fuck, what's going on? So tell everyone about that, like the journey of actually learning and what changed? What do you think changed about your I guess your execution? Like obviously at the start you were learning really basic stuff, and then we got it into the more of the supply and demand trading stuff. Let's not talk about strategy, but what's the biggest thing in trading you feel that makes someone profitable, right? Like, well, what gets you there?
Yeah. So I would say that there's three main pillars in trading.
Yeah.
The number one most important thing is hands down psychology.
Yeah.
It has to be your psychology. If you can't have that right mindset, you cannot be successful in this game. You just cannot, bro.
I agree. It doesn't matter if you've got the best strategy, the best risk to reward ratios, you're going to make errors. You're going to make errors. Yeah.
Speaking of risk to reward ratio, I would say that's number two, like your 100%. Risk management plan. Yeah.
That's the crux. That's the crux of the business. I don't care what anyone says. That's the machine of any trading strategy is risk to reward ratio, and not just planned R, but expectancy of R. Right. So when you actually look at your sample size of trades or your data, what's the average R you're actually achieving? Because like you know this, man. Most traders out there, SMC guys, supply and demand guys, they reckon they trade at 15 to 1, 16 to 1. But most of the time, they're cutting it a lot shorter than that, right? So yeah, risk to reward ratio is by far, I feel, one of the most important things to the strategy. What else do you reckon, man?
Oh, number three is it's got to be your strategy. But again, like the strategy doesn't matter as much as the psychology and the risk management. Even if you can get the psychology and the risk management down, you should be fine.
And this is what I always tell people. There's no magic bullet. There's no magic strategy. You can be profitable trading trend lines, dude. You actually can, as long as your risk to reward ratio, your psychology, and the way you structure your execution is right. Do you believe that? Do you believe that the technical side of trading at the start felt like the most important part? But as you've moved down this journey, you start realizing that trading's actually more than just analysis. It's actually a business, right?
100%, bro. Because this is the first time in my life where I saw a financial chart, right? So when you've heard people talk about greed before, you've heard people talk about fear before, but you've never really seen anyone break down a financial chart before. So when you see that as a beginner trader, you're like, this is amazing. And then you just get sort of hooked onto it, right? So then you focus on technical stuff, and you're just not getting anywhere. And you keep thinking, why is this happening? Why is this happening?
Yeah.
And like later on in my journey, certain things happened, and then because of that, my psychology improved. So to give you an example, one thing that I changed was I stopped looking for 10 to 1s, 15 to 1s.
Remember I was messaging you, I said, Rug, man, please. I said, stop going for the moonshot. Stop going for the overnight 20, 30 to 1. Like, because dude, the thing I always said to you, you picked up the analysis very quick. That's one thing about you. You never had bad analysis. You've always had very clean TA. I think you were just very impressionable early on of a lot of things on Instagram and YouTube. And now you've sort of been like, you know what, stuff all of that. I know what I know, and I know what gets results. You came back to the data, right? What works for you? So what would you say to someone out there who's like, they're at a point where they're just break even. They're not profitable, but they've got good analysis. They've got good strategy. You know, when they are on winning streaks, they're making money, but then they go through these really bad slumps of losers, and they can't find trades. The entry is not getting hit. You know, the standard stuff. What's some advice for them, especially in the FTMO challenge? We'll talk about that in a sec, about the rules and how to get around that. But yeah, just the average trader who's stuck at break even now or stuck at struggling. What's your biggest advice for them?
Number one thing I would say is never stop believing. That is number one, because doesn't matter how much knowledge I had, how much knowledge I have now, doesn't matter how much knowledge I had a month ago, doesn't matter how much knowledge I had 2 years ago. One thing that has stayed consistent throughout these 2 years, 2 and a bit years, is I have consistently believed in myself. And that is number one.
Because that pushed you through. That actually got you to where you are now, at a stage where you can execute trades. And that's what I always say to people. Risk management is so important, because if you blew up your account 20, 30 times, you wouldn't be here, dude. You know what I mean? So longevity in this game and pushing through is what's going to get you to a point where you are profitable and you do stick around, right? So yeah, believing in yourself is a big one too.
And in terms of like things that you can actually practice, I would say is journal your trades. And read really good trading books, like you've always mentioned, right? Trading in the Zone.
Mark Douglas, get that book out right now. That is the best trading book.
It's right here, bro. I read it every single day, bro. Every single day.
My man. That is 100%. That book changed your trading, correct?
Yeah.
And
definitely.
What do you think you learned from that book? Is it more of just the art of how Mark speaks about think of the market as probabilities and complete random? And stop having control over the market, right? Stop thinking you have control. Well,
exactly.
What did you take out of that?
Well, the main thing was we're here to risk money, Nick. You know, we're not here to make guaranteed profits every single day. We're here to risk money. So if you actually end up losing money, but that's fine. It's like playing a basketball game and then missing a shot and being like, oh, I'm a failure. You know, this can't be happening. No, missing a shot is part of the game. It's part of the game. You're there to lose money. That's fine. Just accept it. Just accept it and move on. Accept it and move on.
And yeah, dude. I love that, dude. And in terms of the FTMO, because like, look, FTMO's you know, shout out to those guys as well. They're allowing people to come out there and trade capital if they're a good trader and they can pass the rules. So can you explain to everyone who's watching this what FTMO is? Also explain to them the rules, okay, and give them some tips around how to pass it, right? Because you've done a few challenges now, and you would have gotten to a point where you're like, you know what, there's actually a way to do this. So can you give us some insight to that for the people that are struggling at the moment?
Yeah. So FTMO is a prop firm, and what they do is they've got a challenge that's called the FTMO challenge, and if you pass that challenge, then they will fund you like certain amounts of money, and the actual amount differs depending on how much you've paid and like what challenge you've chosen. Me personally, I chose the $10,000 challenge because that's all I can afford right now, bro. I'm still broke.
Don't worry, bro.
It's all good though. Like I'm still from the streets, but you know what? We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, bro.
I love that. I love that. Yeah.
And their whole philosophy is that you have 1 month, or you have 2 stages. You have stage 1 and you have stage 2. In stage 1, you have to make a 10% profit in 30 days, and in stage 2, you have to make 5% profit in 60 days. So the way I went about it is I didn't really think about you know, I have to make $1,000 or I have to make 10%. I just thought about it like, okay, I just have to take 1 trade at a time. I need to make 10 Rs. All right, because I was risking 1% a trade.
So you have to make 10 times your risk, 10 R. Yep.
Exactly. So that was in the back of my mind. So that's all I did, bro. You just have to stick to the process, and you just have to see, you know, is this a good trade? Does this fit my plan? Am I being as disciplined as I can be? Am I letting greed get in the way? Am I letting fear get in the way? And you just try and maintain that, you know, like you said, that equilibrium mindset, and you try and execute your trades.
And how many trades did you take when you passed just recently? How many trades did it take you to get to your first initial phase 1, 10%? Do you remember how many you took?
I think it was like 17, but like most of them were like the break-even trades, you know, the 0.01 lots.
Yeah, so you're bulletproofing,
Yeah. Let me think. It was 1, 2, 3, 4. Like proper trades, it was probably around 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good, man. So your average R would have been like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. So when do you get access to this capital? When do you start your first live trade?
I do have access to the capital, bro.
I
I got
love
access
this.
to the capital 2 days ago. But again, I haven't taken a single trade because the markets have been pretty shit for me,
Yeah,
bro. I'm not gonna lie.
that's what I want. I already knew the answer to that question. That's why I want you to lead in now. So tell everyone the truth. There is not a actual trade every single day in trading.
Yeah.
You know, it is actually not. It is not smart to take a trade just because the market is open. Tell everyone a little bit about that and why you're more selective now around your setups.
Yeah. So first and foremost, this isn't a get rich quick scheme, guys. Like
Yes, 100%.
It's not, bro. Like you actually have to put in the work. If you think if people think like, oh, I just got $10,000 like that, it doesn't work that way, bro. Like two years of blowing accounts and lots of
and education, investing in yourself, all that.
100%.
You've gone through the trenches for sure.
Yeah.
Um.
So yeah, that's one thing. And what you have to realize is, I don't know, like, could you repeat the question? I think I forgot it.
Yeah, no. It's more about you know, when the market isn't presenting trades.
Yeah.
You know, so why are you more selective now around your trade setups? And can you give us a bit of an insight into the strategy you're actually using, right? Like what time frame are you doing multi-time frame analysis? What time frame are you executing on? What time frame are you managing it on? Give us a bit of a, you know, just a general overview of the strategy you're using. Is it supply and demand, smart money concepts? You know, tell us.
Yeah. So to answer your first question, why am I doing more selective trades now? It's because of one thing, and that's journaling. So
Yes.
I do two types of journaling. One journaling is the normal trading journaling where I record the trade, what happened, what was I feeling, and I do a different type of journaling called deep journaling.
Yep.
That's where I use this book right here. And I just I go right into the depth of it. I write maybe 1 to 2 pages per trade, and I just break it down. You know, what was going on psychologically. You know, should have I done this? Should have I not done that? Were there other parts of my life that were affecting me?
That's awesome.
And that has really helped me dial down, you know, what works best for me.
Yeah.
You know, like you have your education company, ZM Capitals has its own, but what you have to realize is you can't just copy what others are doing.
No, for sure.
They can guide you and they can help you get to the water, but it's your job to drink the water.
That's exactly right. And that's what I try to tell everyone, right? Like, we're going to give you the best education possible. We're going to give you the frameworks, the strategy, but you can have the best strategy in the world. You know, for a fact, the strategies are all good, but it's about execution. You know, theory-driven strategies and theory-driven approaches in the market don't make money. So you're spot on there, man. And that deep journaling stuff is really, really good, right? That's going to get you to a place where you understand yourself, and that'll translate into the markets, man. So awesome. Thanks for sharing that. And also strategy. Talk to us about your strategy, man. You don't have to give us all of it. I know traders like to keep a little bit tucked away, but tell us your approach.
It's honestly pretty simple, man. Like I see a lot of people out there with, you know, so many lines and so many indicators and volume indicators and RSI divergence and all that. I don't use a single indicator. I just look at proper price action, and I'm just a simple supply and demand trader. So let me get my plan out real quick.
Yeah. Do you want me to allow you to share screen, Rugved?
Yeah, go for it, man. Go for it.
Cool.
Can you see it?
I can. Beautiful. This is the stuff I wanted to see, man. Bro, you've come a long way. So talk to me around trading plan 4. Why is it named 4.0? First of all,
this is my fourth. This is my fourth trading plan.
I love this. Yeah, talk to me. Let's go.
So, bro, like when I started off with trading, my first trading plan, to be completely honest with you, Nick, it's basically your trading plan, like what you said. It was like a bunch of points, and I just copy pasted it because I don't know what to do. I was like, well, this guy knows what he's talking about, so I just copy pasted it.
Yeah.
Like you see this one, rule number 1. That's from your plan, mate.
That's from mine. Yeah, for sure. All analysis needs to be done not on a phone, it has to be done on a computer. Has that helped you a lot?
100%, bro. 100%.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when I'm on my laptop, I'm generally sitting down. I'm not
Yeah.
standing up or anything. I'm sitting down and I'm properly
You're
focused to do something.
focused. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
focused. Man, it
And
reduces so many errors, man. Like honestly, especially
yeah,
at the level I'm at, when you're actually trading with a bit of capital, you don't want to be making mistakes on your position sizing and stuff. Like it's very important. So yeah, that's a good one to be keeping. I like number 4, dude. Do not stare at the charts. Talk around that
yeah.
one.
To be honest, man, this is something that I'm still working through. Hey,
Mm.
like sometimes I see the charts and like I just stare at them, even though it's not London session, and it's gotten better. It's gotten better. I'm not staring at the charts 24/7 anymore. But the reason I think it's dangerous to stare at charts is because a watch pot never it never boils, right?
Yeah.
If you constantly look at it, you're just going to get more and more nervous. Oh, why isn't the market moving here? Why isn't it doing this? Why isn't it doing that?
Mm.
And more chart time doesn't necessarily mean better analysis or
No,
more chart time.
100%, 100%. I
Yeah,
agree with that. I agree with that fully. I
yeah,
think more chart time is actually does the opposite for you. I feel like it doesn't benefit you at all.
yeah,
I feel, like you said there, the only times you should be looking at a chart is when you're executing a position, monitoring a position, or doing your journaling and or back testing, right? Like
yeah,
that's really the only time you need to be at the charts.
yeah,
Um, that's awesome, man. And I love the way you've named your strategy, the Pawar strategy. So that's your last.
yeah, yeah,
And talk to me around the London Open, okay? Because you're obviously in the FX market. So for the crypto guys watching this, Rugved decides to stay in the Forex market. He likes crypto, but it's not his main market, right? Forex is where he
yeah.
trades.
Not yet, brother. Not yet. Not
Not
yet.
yet.
I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there.
I know you will. I know you will. You're going to come to the dark side soon. But talk to me around pre-London and like, is your strategy only around that time zone? Talk to me.
Yeah, it is only around that time zone. So what I
Cool.
do is I do 15 minutes of pre-London
Yep.
and I trade 1 hour of London.
Yep.
And the main reason behind that is because, like I said, I only want to be working 1 hour or 2 hours a day. That's the main reason. But I could do more hours.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I feel like it, I might sit down for 2 hours or 3 hours. But the main thing is, the reason I wanted to do this was to get more freedom
Mm-hmm.
and get a better ROI on my time. So that's the main reason why I do 15 minutes and 1 hour of London session.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was one day I was just going through the charts and I was like, when do I actually see a good setup present itself?
Yeah.
And a number of times I saw it, oh man, like when
Yeah.
the London session starts,
Yeah.
something is actually happening. Like the markets start to move
Yeah,
differently.
you're starting to see patterns now, which is awesome, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you're building your strategy around that. And that's what I always say to people, look at your data. If you've got a trade setup, if you look at 15 of your trades and 7 of
Hmm.
them are losers and they're all the same approach in terms of the execution, you got
Yeah,
to get rid of it. You know what I mean? Like it's you got to look at what's making you money and what's potentially causing errors. And man, if you're making better trades at London, that is a time where you focus on, and that's what you've done, which is awesome, man. Um,
yeah,
I want to talk more about the 2 types of setups you look for. So one's a confirmation and one's a counter trend. Talk to me around the counter trend, right? Because that's
yeah,
not a strategy a lot of people are confident in executing.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
talk to me around that.
All right. So counter trend.
Yeah,
Let me just skip to it.
I
Sorry.
love this, dude. Dude, I love this.
Cheers, brother. There we go. Counter trend trade. So
Okay.
basically, when catching a retracement, price must have retraced at least 50% from the higher time frame order block. So when I'm looking for counter trend trades, I'm either going to look for a scenario like this, or I'm
Yeah.
going to look for a scenario like this,
Yes.
right? So the main thing about counter trend is they are risky and
Yes.
they're more riskier compared to a confirmation entry or a trend continuation entry, right?
Absolutely.
So what I try to do is, well, I really like counter trend entries. So what can I do to decrease the risk as much as possible?
Yep.
So that's when I looked at my previous trades. I looked at the market and what it did in the previous times, like back testing and everything. And I realized that, well, if I'm going to be looking for a counter trend trade, I want to make sure that the price is actually moving in the direction of the pullback
Yeah.
most of the times, right? So that's why I quantified it a bit like price must have retraced at least 50% from the high time frame order block. So even if it's 49%,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not
You know what
I'm
I
not
mean?
going to take
I
that
like
trade.
that. I like that. And I like your second one. When buying in a bearish market, the lower time frame must have, more confirmation of that smaller time frame trend, right? At
Yeah,
least
yeah,
3 higher highs and 2 higher lows formed. Um,
yeah, exactly. Because that means that, well, if my, let's say 1 hour bias is bearish, and if price is down here, well, price might just keep going down lower. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy here. But if I can start to see a bit of a pattern form,
You're entering right there, dude. Yeah.
exactly,
That's your trigger.
exactly,
Yeah.
right here,
And
because
you're
I get
taking it
that
up
good risk
and you're
reward.
using that level of supply as your target. Is that correct?
100%.
And
Yeah.
where are you placing your invalidation or your stop? Is that below the major low or is it below the smaller time frame swing?
Below the smaller time frame.
I like
Below the
that.
smaller
That's
time
awesome.
frame. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess when you think about it, even when I'm looking at a counter trend trade, I'm still waiting for a bit of a trend to form. Because guys, you have to trade with the trend to some degree, right? Because if you're not, you're just gambling, right?
Yeah.
That's not
No,
good.
yeah. So you are trading with the time frame you're executing on's trend, but you're just talking about the higher time frame. It's in the higher time frame essence, it's a counter trend trade. And this is okay to do if you understand where to take profit, right? It's not like you're going to be buying on that last leg there just before the impulse into the supply level. You've bought much more before that, which is sick. I like it, man. Do you know your win rate data on that counter trend setup?
Oh, unfortunately I don't, bro. I don't. I think it's around 40-ish%.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. And the average R would be a lot higher on that because your
definitely.
Your stop loss is really tight.
Yeah. It's generally around 5 hours, give or take. So with a 40% win rate, that's pretty solid. 40-50%. It's pretty good.
Dude, 40% win rate at 3-to-1 is awesome. If you can get a 4 or 5-to-1, that's really
money.
It's money. I really like this, man. I don't want you to show too much of it because this is your work, right? Like and later down the track, I know for sure you're going to get to a point where you're so good at trading, you're so profitable. People will want to be educated by you. All right. So that's why I wanted to give you the platform, man, because dude, I think you're going to be a really, really good trader, and you already are a really, really good trader.
Thanks, Steve.
Now, all you need is capital now. Okay. That's essentially the only thing that's missing from what you need to do, right? You need capital. And that's the first 10,000 that you've been funded with. So tell us the stats on people getting funded. I think, is it less than 5%?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's less than 5%. So every 1,000 people that take it, like only 20 people or less than 20, you're going to get funded.
Yeah.
So it's pretty hard. But when you think about it, right? Again, believe in yourself. If I didn't believe that I can pass, then I would have never taken it, right? If you don't take that leap, then nothing's going to happen in your life. And secondly, most of the people that entered the FTMO challenge, they just want to make that quick money. Like
that's exactly right. That's exactly right. And that's why when people come into my education a lot, we don't try to push prop firms a lot because a lot of people don't understand that, yes, you can get funded, but to keep the account is another whole thing. Like now the thing you're worrying about, you've got the 10K now. Now you need to keep it, right? And that's why I'm really happy that you're coming from an approach of I haven't even taken a trade yet, Nick, and I've had to capital for 2 days. I love that. That means you're in a really good headspace.
Yes, sir.
It'll be really good to see where you go in the next 2 years, man. What's your YouTube account name, bro? So we can drop it. People can start following.
Yeah, bro. Definitely. But my YouTube account name is Power Trader.
Yeah.
PAWAR Trader. Yeah. I'll write down a comment below as well.
Yeah. I'll pin it. And any final words, bro? Just for everyone, because man, like, look, I wanted to catch up with you, bro. You've always been like a little brother to me. You were one of the OGs in our Onyx Forex group. Fuck, man, it's really good to see you've come this far. And we'll be obviously keeping in touch. I'll always be your mentor, helping you out. If you need anything,
of course, brother.
If you need anything, you let me know, bro.
Dude.
And dude, when you get to that 6-figure mark, we'll go to Dubai.
Yeah.
I want to get you in a Lambo or something.
Yeah, bro. I was gonna say, bro, we got to do the Lambo because we talked about it in your AMG.
Yeah.
We got to get that Lambo soon.
Yeah, man. And what sort of content are you going to be releasing? Like, what's your goal with your YouTube channel for everyone to know?
My goal with my YouTube channel is to just build a community of people that are just into trading and like strong-minded people, men and women, children, anyone, bro. I don't discriminate, bro. Like,
I love that.
Yeah. And look, there's going to be a lot more content coming soon. So if you're watching this, I speak directly to you now. Lads, subscribe, because you'll have the privilege of saying, hey, I was one of the first people who supported this guy. Because boys, we're blowing up.
We're gonna blow up. Let's go.
We're gonna get there,
guys,
boys.
Please, if you're watching my channel and you got to this point, give him a follow, give him a subscribe, and watch his content because he's actually a very good trader. Okay. His analysis is awesome. You saw his plan. Not many traders are doing that. I would honestly say if you got 1,000 traders in a room, less than 20 of them are doing that in-depth trading plan. Okay. And I'm like, that's 100% serious. Okay. So guys, go out there, check him out. Pawar Trader on YouTube. And I'm sure later down the track, you'll have a Twitter and stuff like that. So just follow him on YouTube for now. And guys, thanks for watching. And Rug, thanks for coming, brother.
My honor, bro. I'm so grateful for this. Thank you so much, brother.
Anytime, bro. I'm going to jump off the call, man. I will speak to you soon.
Sweet. Cheers.
Ciao, brother.